As a teen during the 90s, I was all in on the X-Men comic books. Jim Lee's relaunch of the series sold millions and broke records. But it was the animated series that completely hooked me for life, with amazing and faithful adaptations to classic stories, to that unforgettable theme music. Today I present to you two of my favorite characters, Gambit and Rogue. Welcome and welcome back everyone to my channel, Arts of the Round Table. My name is Mello. I hope you're doing well, and I appreciate you spending your time with me as I take a trip on the nostalgia train. In this video I'll be drawing, inking, and painting Gambit and Rogue of the X-Men. I didn't get an opportunity to record in real time the drawing of Gambit, but I did include the time-lapse version on the screen, and then it'll jump to the painting as soon as it's done. But man, this was fun. I kind of needed this. I've been on the low end of the roller coaster for the last couple of weeks. So doing something that reminded me of brighter days was very beneficial for my mental health. This was actually pretty fun. And I'll be honest, this might be the closest to what my actual style of artwork is. An uncanny, cartoonish realism where I enjoy exaggerating the expressions on faces. And this was a perfect way for me to remove the rigidness that I've been feeling in my day-to-days lately. So this was fun to do. Of course, I am using my himi gouache, and to ink my drawings, I'm using Pentel brush pens, 3 different versions of them just because of the brush sizes. And I'm using Doc Martens Bombay Black India ink, and I use that to refill my brushes. If you want to know more about how to use a brush pen, or even how to refill those brush pens, just let me know in the comments and I'll make a video about them in the future. But for now, let's paint. You will notice that I didn't go as watery with my first layers like I normally do. I'm using a heavily textured 140-pound watercolor paper. So I wanted to see what I can do without using an underpainting or a light wash first. In hindsight, I probably should have, but the goal was to test myself and see how much I can push just from using opaque colors immediately. I also wanted to test myself because I was using thicker opaque colors in the beginning, if I could still retain my line work. I wanted to emphasize, I'm still in the comic book mentality of dark graphic black lines, and I liked the line work, so I didn't want to paint over them so much that I would lose them. But that was the struggle that I went through. Using opaque colors, you're going to remove your guidelines. That's a fact. So, as you can see in some of these, I am going to use some darker browns or flesh tones to accentuate those colors to see if I can still retain them and keep the integrity of the drawing as I painted. I also wanted to use the round brushes more. I tend to hide my shortcomings by using the flat brush for broader, more exaggerated strokes and say, oh, it's an artistic preference. But I'm trying to concentrate more on precision here using the round brushes and get more comfortable. And I'm still trying to find the right balance and consistency by doing so. This year's goal so far has been the searching of my own painting and artistic style. And I don't know how far off I am, but this journey that I'm going through has been really fun artistically. So there he is, the Raging Cajun, Remy LeBeau Gambit. And there was only one person really that should have been drawn next to him. And I was so stupid. I was like, oh, who am I going to put? I even had a day or so to think of who I was going to put there. I was going to put in the mutant character Bishop, because they also have history. But I was like, are you nuts, man? You have to put Rogue. So here is the beginning of the sketch for one of my favorite cartoon crushes besides Chitara, Lady J, and Jem from the Holograms, Rogue. Talk about an artist with two minds. When I was doing and drawing Gambit, I really didn't have much of a care. I was kind of more loose. I enjoyed exaggerating the face and just kind of being expressive. The moment I decided that I was going to be drawing Rogue, boy, did I start stressing out for no reason. I'm like, she has to be beautiful. She has to be the complete opposite of that rascallion. And unnecessary pressure for no reason. These were for me anyway. But she isn't modeled after any people's. I just went on Pinterest to try to see profiles of female faces so I can get my proportions and all of those things correct. The thing that I love the most about that character's her visual look is that hair, the brown auburn hair on the side and the stark white. So I wanted to make sure that when I was inking it, that was something that I kept in mind and did most of my dark inking on the brown part of the hair. Also, I wanted to, at this point, honestly, I'm thinking about composition and how the differences between the two characters, of how he is more of a flamboyant and out there character and she's kind of more quiet and she speaks with actions while he is bombastic. So I wanted to make sure that came through in the picture and the painting. And let's talk about the painting. Again, I didn't use a underpainting. I was kind of at this point comfortable with what I was trying to do with that type of paper, that heavy textured watercolor paper. I did use a more watery consistency on that first layer of hair, doing a watercolor style that way, and because I knew I wanted to add layers later. I also did a watery, more consistent texture and color for her face. I knew I wanted to blend things easier, and I didn't want to go too hardcore with the layering. So I tried to do large swatches of color, and then later on, as the parts of her face were drying, using the other colors, the more contrast and the thicker, more opaque, to start accentuating her face. I also want to point out that the colors that I used were the same for both of them. The only addition was a pure pink color for Rogue and a lavender purple color, the color that I used for Gambit's background. I used it for the shadows on her face. I also quickly realized that with the opaqueness of the colors that I was using, that I was not going to be able to retain my lines. So I said the heck with it and decided to paint over them and just go back over those same lines with my black ink brush pens. And it came out really well. I was very happy with the way that it looked. I was happy with the way the blue accentuated the white hair. This was really fun to do. I had a lot of fun doing these portraits. I appreciate the fact that they're such different in style, but there's similar color themes, and they're perfect for each other. And there it is. Gambit and Rogue. I had such a blast, guys. Just the memories, living through those, and I had a smile on my face the whole time I was drawing, inking, struggling, and painting. It was fantastic. Thank you guys for being here. Let me know in the comments which part of the process you guys enjoyed the most or want to know more about, or even better, who would you like to see me paint next? If you like this video, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up, hit that subscribe button if you haven't done so already, because there's plenty more where this came from, as you already know. And of course, share this with your fellow X-Men fans. You know they're out there, they're everywhere. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. I really appreciate it. My name is Mello, and as always, draw you later. Bye-bye.